All right, this is for the proto-founders, people who have an idea. If you've got an idea for a business, but you just haven't acted on it yet, let's see if this resonates with you, okay? So, if you're sitting there looking for the magic bullet or waiting for the time to be right to get started, I fear for you mightily. It will never happen. There will never be the right time to get started, ever. You will never know enough. You will never be enough to magically flick a switch and get started, okay? You know enough now. You know enough now to get started. You are enough now. There is no magic bullet. Nobody's going to suddenly give you an outline or a secret or something. Let me tell you. I just posted about this recently and made a video on the other channel for this, okay? There are people out there who download everything that they can find, like dashboards and predictive things, and my personal favorite, processes. Let me give you my 50,000 process templates. And like, I'm a process guy, and this is a process company, and I'll tell you, those process templates are of very little use to you. Oh, sure, you could look at them and get ideas, and they might save you an hour here and there. Don't get me wrong. They are not without value, okay? But the fact is, you can't just take that and plug it into your organization. Even if you wanted to just somehow copy or use exactly what they've given you, which wouldn't make sense, you would realize very quickly, because the culture and the way you do business is different from whoever wrote that thing, and you have to adjust it. You would still have to go through the effort of implementing it. It's not just, well, there it is, and now I drop the punch card into the slot and everything works. No, there's implementation time. So stop waiting around and get started. Get started with what you've got and what you know. Do some information interviews if you have to. I've explained how to do those things 100 times over the years, without exaggerating, on forums, blog posts, videos, okay? There's no science to it. It's just a simple process of asking to talk briefly to some people who are working in the industry or doing the job that you want to do, okay? That's it. And asking them about their impressions and what they encounter and what their customers say and what surprised them. You know, they went into the thing thinking that this was the case, but then after a few weeks they realized, no, it's not that way at all. And that's good. That's a barrier to entry when you find something like that out. There's no magic bullet. There's no template. There's no guru that's going to give you the treasure map. It's not going to happen, okay? That's all lies. That's all marketing lies. The map is not the territory, okay? A successful person can give you the map. They can. And it'd probably be a pretty good map, but you still have to go there and walk the walk. And then we run into the problem of limiting beliefs, perception, perspective. You're a different person than they are. Can I say that in that simple way? You're a different person than they are, and so you will view things differently. You will see and not see things compared to what they do. You just won't be able to do some of the stuff that they do. Or you might have an easier time doing it another way. There's no one right way to do anything. I wrote a blog post about this years ago that is still very popular today. It's one of the most popular blog posts I've got, where everybody, I was teaching computer-aided design because I was an AutoCAD guy when I was like 19 years old. I walked into an engineering office and I said, I don't know anything about drafting, but I'm good with computers. Give me a chance. I'll work for you for a day. If you don't like me, send me away. You don't have to pay me. And at the end of the week, I got a paycheck. And over the summer, we did a bunch of projects. They hired a bunch of people we were archiving a military base. And then they let those people go, and they kept me, and I went back to school. I never actually quit that job, which is kind of odd, but anyway, point being, in school then at BCIT, I was teaching people how to do CAD because we had an AutoCAD course, and people were confused by it and didn't know how to use it, and I had like a year and a half of experience with it. And there's like 15 different ways I could pull out of the air to put a line with a circle on the end of it. Okay, a stick with a circle on the end. There's like a bunch of ways you could do that. You could mirror something. You could trim and flip and who knows what, right? But what people wanted, what they demanded of me, they did not want creativity. They wanted the one right way. Just tell me how to do it. I don't want all these options because that's confusing, right? I don't want to actually be taught. You don't want to be taught. You may, Jason, I definitely want, I'm a lifelong learner. Okay. But all things being equal, wouldn't you rather just be shown the one magic true path to success? Right? Unfortunately, it doesn't exist, and everybody can actually get there in different ways. Why do you think rock band singers can do it their way? Right? That's not my way. I would fail miserably trying to do that. It just doesn't work. And they're able to go out and do it their way, and I respect the hell out of that. It's a lot of work. So stop looking for all these special downloads, secret sauces. You know, I see this. I'm in software as a service groups. Kept my templates for onboarding. Who cares? That's somewhat helpful, but like what you're doing is running around stuffing stuff as fast as you can into your bucket and running along to the next free giveaway. That is not how to create a business. You're not going to create anything doing that except confusion and overwhelming yourself. Oh, look at all these things I have to use. They told me I have to use them now. Can I tell you something? Most of those giveaways, those downloads, the product creator would love it if you use them, but they know, as I do, most of you are never going to even take the thing out of the box or open the link or anything. Okay? You're just collecting to collect to get ready, because someday you might need the BS, man. I don't collect anything. I don't download anything unless I'm going to read it right now. And that's usually U.S. military and science strategic reports. That's what I look at because that's my world, you know. And they tell me the politics of what are the ideas now that are popular that we're going to go for, and I need to wire my bids and my wording and that on the other channel especially into that stream of consciousness, the way those people are thinking, because then, you know, as long as I actually do agree with it, that's a check mark that needs to be passed there. And most of you will have no idea what I just said. It will sound like gobbledygook. So if you understood what I just said, fantastic. But my point is, the creators of these downloads do not expect you to ever use them. It's kind of cynical, but you won't. You just won't. And so there's no point in them getting frustrated about it. And also, with these dashboards and that, I've seen founders go back to a dashboard tool that they created 3 months later and get confused about how this cell connects to that, tracing back the logic. They can't remember how they did it. It's a black box to them, again. Does that inspire confidence? There's no one right way. That dashboard is not the one right way. It's just somebody's opinion of an idea, and there it is. And you collected it, and now you're on their list. That's the purpose. You're on their list. You stuck up your hand eagerly in the thread on Facebook. It said, me, or me too, or I have that problem, or whatever. Message me, or I want that, or great, or whatever it is they tell you. You know, if you want it, comment below. Engagement gets seen more. You guys fall for it every time, and I think it's sad. And then they message you, and now you're in either their chat bot or their email, or they've got a direct message channel open to you, and you're being marketed to, and you don't even know it. And it's like, it's disappointing is how I feel. Disappointed most of the time with that whole Facebook crowd. Anyway, good luck, you know. But you're not going to create a business stuffing free stuff into your bucket and running along the beach to the next free thing. It's not going to happen. You have to stop, commit, order and movement. And you don't need all that crap. If I recommended Process Street recently, okay, because a friend who is one of those guys who likes to download free stuff and has hard drives full of stuff he'll never use, he recommended it to me, but he knows that I'm bitchy about these things. So at least it was a good recommendation. I went in there, I looked around, and it's a good thing that I can commit to in that. But it's something I'm going to use. It's not something that's going to sit around for 6 months. Because let me tell you, the pace at which products and services and apps and stuff are getting created these days, if you wait a year, how outdated, I'm asking you, how outdated is that thing that you downloaded in 2019 going to be by now? Isn't there going to be a better, cheaper, faster, more proven competitor to that thing if it's any good that popped up? And you're going to have to go through the process of reanalyzing who's the best provider of this thing anyway. I'm not saying roll over and die. I'm saying focus. Focus on driving revenue. Focus on creating a business. Focus on getting a darn customer. Having 60 process templates in your back pocket is not going to help you get a customer unless you're running some very specific form of business where you're going around helping companies implement those things. That's something we could do, but I think it's kind of dumb. I told you earlier, the matchup of those templates to the end user are rarely that good. So might as well just start from scratch and do something else. But anyway, pick a target. Get your revenue target in mind, right? Figure out how many sales you need to make in order to get there. Price your product or service accordingly. Figure out how many sales you need to make, and then go out there and get them. That's a business. That's a business. Not, well, I got a great Google Drive. I got a great garden full. It's got lilies and daisies and this purple flowers and some ivy and stuff. That's not a business. A collection of crap in a bucket is not a business. And it's a sign of newbie thinking. So, you want to be successful, you want to move on, get started. And I'll conclude with this. There's a lot of ideas in this video. Sometimes I get upset. I'm frustrated about doing free calls and giving away free consultations and that, and it's my fault because it's the way I set it up. And I mean, it turns out I actually need these free calls because when I constrict or contract and I stop offering them and I go, no, people have to pay, and that their leads really dry up. And that, again, might not be true for you. Maybe you can position yourself in your industry as somebody that people have to pay to talk to initially, right? Now, I can do a thing where people can book a free quick call with me, and it's like 15 minutes, and then I can say, okay, here's my plan. If you want to continue, it's X amount of dollars, etc., and that's fine. But if I'm sloppy and I forget that stuff and I'm on with a guy for an hour, hour and a half, and I'm just giving away free stuff, if it once in a while, that's fine. But if I do that over and over again, I'm going to get disgruntled about it because I'm giving away value and I'm not getting anything in return. Remember, you cannot pay your rent with thanks. So, but there's a great danger in me anyway, turning off that dialogue with the outside world and letting people book free calls with me. When I do that and I have to turn it on again because I realize, wait a minute, I do need to talk to people. That's my style, right? I'm not the king of the hill that people come to me. I go out to people. And there's a power differential there that I hope you can avoid in your business, but that's my personality type. I have to do it. And that comes from knowing yourself, And when I turn that on again, it's not a quick turnaround in terms of suddenly getting business going again. Okay, it takes 2 or 3 days for me. Okay, it takes 2 or 3 days for me. The guy with the background, the guy with the history, the guy with the credibility. It takes 2 or 3 days of me, not just posting, but messaging people, hitting people up, talking, asking for referrals, all kinds of activity, and mentally committing up here to being the outgoing guy again. Then, after those 2 or 3 days, the bookings start coming and the money comes, usually from some unexpected direction too. But if I didn't power up by doing the work over here, this other thing over here wouldn't come in, okay? And I encourage you to take this to your business, okay? Because I've seen so many founders buy some magic bullet promise, here's the system, just do this. Yeah, right. And so they go do it, and their enthusiasm lasts for 3 days. That's it, 3 days. Day 1, day 2, day 3. By the end of day 3, they're tired. Their energy's all spent. Their faith was in the object, the system, the thing they bought, the magic bullet, and not in themselves where it needs to be. And so they gave up. And it's going to probably take you longer than 3 days, because that's how long it takes me to rev up and start getting some action going after I get disgruntled. Right? And so it's going to take you maybe a week or 2 weeks or something like that in order to get results. Well, if you keep quitting, how many times have you done this? Keep quitting after 3 days, right, before the idea has a chance to rev up in energy, you're never going to get anywhere. You're going to constantly be stuck on this treadmill loop of getting a business that you bought into, an idea, and you start it, and then it fades, and you get money from somewhere, significant other, or you've got a day job or something like that, and you save that up for a while, and then you go on to the next magic bullet idea. Oh, this is going to be the thing. I've watched people for 10 years, individuals for 10 years struggle in this loop, and you can't tell them nothing. They're going to stay stuck in it. I can keep making these videos. They will not watch this video. They wouldn't have lasted beyond the first minute, and that's really sad. It's frustrating for me to watch. I'm like, okay, here they are with the next bullshit idea. You know, seen them do it. This is the flavor of the month. Next month there'll be a web designer. Last month it was an SEO guy. Following month they'll be into graphic design. Don't be that person, okay? Stop picking stuff up and putting it into your bucket. It's okay to go grab resources if they're available and you know where they fit in, right? In traffic or conversion. I've talked about that too in these videos. Does it fit into traffic or conversion? Where does it fit into those pieces? And if you can't see that, don't get it, right? And if you can't make use of it right away, don't get it, because like I said, by the time you do need it and get around to looking for a solution to a real problem you have, the state of the art's going to have moved on. There's no point in getting an SEO report on how to do that from 2015, is there? Right? Remember Matt Cutts? It's just not going to work for you. The state of the art has moved on. So pick something, commit to it, have the faith here in yourself, order and movement. Go get a customer. Find out what it takes to get a customer. Drive some revenue. Don't sit there filling your bucket. These are two completely different types of activities. Can you see that? Getting ready to get ready is not going out there and getting a customer. So you say, oh yeah, I understand that now. Yeah? Let me tell you something. This will be the last thing I say before I get out of here. I was doing an exercise, like a therapy type exercise where you're squishing a couple ideas together like that. And talking about the exercise and doing the exercise were two completely different things. Talking about something and actually getting in there and being engaged and doing it and feeling the energy and what happens and experiencing it are two totally different things. So if you've been sitting around talking about business and talking about what you're going to learn and picking up free stuff and reading things and even watching this video is not doing business, sorry. Maybe you should stop watching my videos too. Get out there and get a customer. It's more important than watching me. All right, I hope this, 15 minutes or something like that I've spent here trying to, 18, huh? And kick you in the butt and change you thinking about something, give you some new ideas to play with, will be useful. Get out there and get started.